All right, welcome to week 9, which is otherwise known as the week before spring break. This week we are looking at the structure of the presidency. We're going to be looking at the role the executive staff plays in executing the president's constitutional duties. We're going to describe sort of the piecemeal evolution of the executive branch. We're going to talk about specific executive branch functions. And then we're going to evaluate the challenges associated with sort of the centralization versus decentralization aspects of the executive branch. Um, I think that one of the things that's really important to understand about the presidency is that a big part of presidential power and influence is largely statutorial in nature. It comes from the fact that every time Congress delegates authority to an executive branch bureaucracy or agency, they are enhancing the power of the presidency. So, to no small extent, this is one of the consequences of having a presidential system and having a system where the bureaucracy kind of lies outside the direct purview of Congress. The fact that the president and Congress are co-equal branches and share certain responsibility for the actions of the bureaucracy, but where the president is responsible for executing the laws, that really puts him more directly in a supervisory position. So, in no small part, when Congress creates something like the Department of Homeland Security, they're enhancing the power and influence of the president, and that kind of explains why Congress has been reluctant to significantly expand the size of the federal bureaucracy in recent years, or at least certainly Republicans have. I would think the Democrats probably would be willing to expand the size of the federal government if they had the option. I think also in this chapter, the role, for example, of chiefs of staff is important, and I think they have one of those explanatory boxes where they talk about Donald Trump's chiefs of staff. And I really think that Trump's inability to keep a chief of staff, the fact that he's got kind of an acting chief of staff right now in Mick Mulvaney, kind of highlights just how ungovernable this guy has been as president. He doesn't want to be reined in. He doesn't want to be disciplined. He wants to run the show that he wants to run. And I think that has far-ranging consequences, something that we probably, need to discuss this week. I think that the evolving roles of the vice president and the president's spouse is also, these are very important issues, and I'll probably address all of these things when I get to the forum instructions. So we only have, again, the quiz and the forum this week, so let's make sure that we do good work before we head off into our week-long break.